Okay, I want to go over the actual code from the preceding navigation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one after the other from my loops that I've got here. Let's see if I can get this to fit in here. I just want it to fit in my recording window if possible. I'll have to scroll down. The first one I'm doing is this one. It's the enhanced for loop. And so I've got this code right here. Test.java, public class test, curly brace. And here's the end of that. Here's the pair, the ending pair to that. Public static void main string execution statement. And the whole statement is public static void main, and in parentheses string array args. And there's the curly brace for that. And here's the ending that ends the method called main. Then we're going to create string array name array equals, and in curly braces I have named three elements of that array: Sean, Jeremy, and Christina. And then I've got the ending semicolon. This is nothing. It's in a commented area, forward slash asterisk, a dashed line, asterisk, forward slash. It's just a visual separating of the code. Here is the enhanced for loop for string name colon name array. What it does is for each element in the name array, when we go through the loop the first time, we are going to be talking about the value of the first element in the array, which is Sean. So the value of Sean is going to go into this variable here called name. So then when we get down here to the system.out.println name, it's not going to be the word name, it's going to be the value of name at this point, which is Sean. Sean will be the first thing that shows. Then it's going to go back up here to the for again, and it's going to go to the next element in the array, which I created as Jeremy. So now the value of Jeremy is going to be in the variable called name. So here system.out.println name at this point is going to be the name Jeremy. It's going to go back up here again. It's going to do it again. And my last element of the array is Christina. So now the variable name is going to have the value Christina. So with this same line of code, it's going to print out Christina. It's going to go back up here to the for loop, and it's exhausted all of the elements in the name array, so it's not going to do this again. It's done. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a system.out.println just the word in double quotes, done. All right. So now this test.java, which I have saved over here on my desktop, right behind all of this recording, I'm going to go here to my command prompt and cd for change directories to desktop first of all. Then I'm going to javac my test.java to compile this code that I just explained to you. Then I'm going to java test enter to run it. And you see here is the output. Sean, Jeremy, Christina. Our enhanced for loop went through each and every one of the elements of that array, and system.out.println, it printed each one on its own line. If I had system.out.print, it would have Sean, Jeremy, and Christina all on the same line next to each other, but I used print, the keyword print ln instead of print. And then finally, when we got out of the for loop, it executed this last statement that says done, because see, that's no longer inside the curly braces of the for loop, so it only says done one time. If I were to take the system.out.println done and stick it inside here, then it would say Sean done, Jeremy done, Christina done. So that's why I wanted to leave this outside of the final curly brace here for the for loop, so it wouldn't keep repeating that. I only wanted to spit out the names of the elements here. Okay, so now I'm going to change some things. I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to go to this while loop. I'm just going to copy it all because it's in a text area that allows me to highlight, copy, and paste from the outside. And in my test Java again, I'm just going to replace everything right there. So we're creating I equals 0 up here outside of the while loop. And the only thing that's in the parentheses for while is the condition that it tests. As long as I is less than 8. Well, we started out with I having a value of 0, so I is 0. 0 is 0 less than 8, that's true. So since it's true, it's going to execute what's inside of here. Well, this right here is not code. It's just a note that I wrote to myself, but I'm actually in a Java file right now, so I want to take anything that's not really code. If it's not marked as a comment, then I just want to take it out. So as long as I is less than 8, we're going to system.out.print the value of I, which initially is 0. And then after it prints out that first line, 0, then it's going to increment it and change it to 1. Then right here, we're at the end of the while loop, we're going to come back up here and we're going to ask the condition is 1 less than 8, and it will be true. So then it's going to come over here, system.out.print line, and it's going to show 1. So let me go back to my command prompt. Now that I've changed the code inside of my test.java file, I have to recompile it. Whenever you change anything, oh, that's horrible. All these errors. Well, let's see what I did wrong. Oh, well, I've got to find my page. Didn't expect any problems. Oh, I did not give I a data type. Public, oh, it's all messed up here. Public static void main, and then parentheses string array args, and then a curly brace, but I don't need a pair because the other one's already at the bottom. Public class test, public static void main string args. There's the end of the main. There's the end of the class. And I want this, not just I equals 0, but int I equals 0. Now, while I is less than 8, let's print that out and then increment it. Let's see how that works. Let me save that. Let me go back here and recompile that again. Okay, now I got a clean compile. So now let me go on ahead and run it, Java test. Now there you go. I first had the value of 0, so it printed that. Then it had the value of 1, and it printed that. Then it finally had the value of 6, and it printed out 6. Here it turned into 7. It went back up here again. Is 7 less than 8? Yes. So then it printed out 7. Then it changed 7 to 8 right here. Went back up here and asked is 8 less than 8. That's false, so that's why it did not print out 8. It skipped all this stuff right here and went straight to our outer code that just says done. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, done. Alright, let me type in CLS in my there so I can clear that screen. Now I'm going to go to this one, the initial simple for loop. It's going to do the same thing that while loop just did. It just has all of its things in this in this parentheses instead of above the while loop and on the inside of the curly braces. It's going to do the exact same output, just a different way. So let me come right here and let me just Control V with the new code. It did it again, I don't know why. Public static void main string array args, and then curly brace, just the beginning one, for, I don't need that, for int I equals 0, as long as I is less than 8, then increment I. And again, I don't need to put the words in here because I didn't comment them out. I just want the code. And the only thing that this is going to do repetitively is print out the value of I. And then when it's done with the loop, it's going to say done. So now let me go on ahead back in here and let me recompile that again. javac test.java. And let me rerun it. Java test. And there we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. So I've showed you how for and a while loop work, and I've showed you how an enhanced for loop with arrays works. So that concludes this video.